Hello, in this demo video, I'm going to talk about a brand new feature in RackForms called XML Wrapper. So the basic idea is in RackForms we have what's called the flat file module, and the flat file module allows us to take whatever's in the flat file data composer right here and write it to a file on our file system. And in this particular case, I have XML data, and more specifically, I should real quickly point out that this data can be dynamic. So here we're using what we call tokens. That's just a simple way of referring to more complex data, in this case our form fields. And we're going to say that when we submit this form, we want the first, middle, and last names to show up within these XML nodes right here. The new feature comes in when we want to write more than one record to the same XML file, essentially appending data. And what I mean by that is, if I take this patient record right here, and I had a second patient record, this wouldn't actually be valid XML. And the reason why is because in XML parlance, we need what's called a root node, right? So we need a node that contains children. So one way to put it is this node needs to be uniquely named, right? Like we can't have multiple root nodes. We have to have one root node that then contains children. And the trick with RackForms, this is where the new feature comes in, is that the way the flat file module works is when we write to our new file, we actually open up the file and just append the new template data to the existing file. And of course this means that if we have a root node definition within our template, after the second submission, we would then have two root nodes. And that would once again be invalid XML. And so the solution, and again the new feature, is what we call the XML wrapper. So the XML wrapper is simply the name of our root node, and it allows us to do basically this. I'll go ahead and build a job here, and I'll submit this through. And now in Safari, which I have lurking back here, I actually have the location of the XML file that we just saved to right here. So when I hit F5 to refresh my browser, you'll see now that here's the data that just came through. So we have the patient record. Notice we have our dynamic values here. And it's now nested within this tester root node. And that means that when I submit the form a second time, I'm now streaming XML, valid XML, of course, key, to this file. So if I hit F5 to refresh again, you'll notice now that I'm going to get a second patient record, right? So my root node and then two patient records. And of course, we could just keep on and keep on with this. So this is a really nice feature because obviously XML to some degree being replaced by JSON, but still a really popular format and a really common format. So it's important that we support that, and we're really, really happy to do so with this new XML wrapper feature. Of course, this is, for existing RackForms users, a free update. So you just go ahead to the download site and get your copy. And if you're not a RackForms user, it's important to note that this is the way we do business. We come up with great new features, and we just give those to you for free. Of course, if you have any questions about this or any of the other features that you see on RackForms, please shoot us an email at info@rackforms.com. We're always happy to help. Thanks a lot for your time.